Welcome to this episode of Window Treatment Friday Live. This is episode number 129, and I am joined here by my friend and colleague, Kim. Hello, Kim.
Hi, everyone. I'm Kim from Window Works. We are located in Livingston, New Jersey. We are a window treatment and awning retailer. Um, and we go ahead, Rita.
I was just going to say, my name is Vita. I'm the owner of Italia Inc. We're a window treatment company in the Philadelphia area.
All right. And today's episode of Window Treatment Friday Live, we're going to be talking about some projects that we have done for charities over the years. I know for us here at Window Works, we do a lot of show houses. We've been involved with George to the Rescue, and it's always our way of giving back and helping elevate a space for someone in need.
Yeah, I always say it's like you do what you can, right? It's like I cannot, I don't know, garden or I cannot, landscape or I cannot cook for that matter either. But, if there's certain things that come easy to us because we know it. We do it day in and day out. And if
Mm-hmm.
we can help someone recreate their space or create a space that benefits a foundation, we can do that. And that's what we're here to show you guys. Kind of
Yes.
take you on a little tour of some of our projects.
All right. So this is a room that we actually just did for this year's 2022 Holiday House here in New York City. The Holiday House was located at the Kent on 95th Street. And the Holiday House benefits the Breast Cancer Research Foundation. We have done this show house quite a few times. This is the first time that I'm kind of doing it on my own with typically in the past I've done it other spaces where Luann was involved. We've done a lot of iconic rooms such as the Thanksgiving room done by Charles Pavarini of Pavarini Designs, and this year we did this a kids space for Ania White Interiors. The whole theme of the room was kind of like a Marie Antoinette, like let them eat cake type theme. So
Uh-huh.
the space is really cool. So be sure to follow Inea on Instagram, where you can see the different aspects of the space. You could see the mirror there with
Mhm.
the let them eat cake sign where it looks like it was almost like written in lipstick. It's really cool. The custom bed that she had made. And what we did here is we donated our labor and the hardware and the installation
Mhm.
to the Holiday House. This was the fabric was provided by Cravat.
Mhm.
Um, and we just did one pair of stationary panels in
Mhm.
this really pretty pink textured fabric to frame out the gorgeous view that you had outside of this bedroom. And I think it just turned out really great. It was a lot of fun. And the thing with show houses, I don't know, Vita, it's a space where the designers can really let their creative flag fly type of thing,
Yes,
where
definitely.
there's kind of really no rules. And it's always really cool to see what they come up with and the concept of everything. And when I went to measure this a couple weeks prior to the install, it was just white walls, typical New York penthouse apartment.
Mhm.
And what Inea and her team did here to really transform this space for this, kid's bedroom, I think turned out really great.
It's amazing, and it looks like so much fun. I love all the pink, and there's some yellows, right? Or it's just it looks like a fun room, and it probably was a great time for you guys to be involved in it.
Yes. And I mean, I know that when we do the show houses, we still approach it as if it is like a client project. It's not something we don't skip out on the details. These window treatments were lined. I sat there and figured out, okay, what's the best proportion? The panels are about a width and a half each panel.
Yep.
They're not fully functional now. Like in a situation like this, we didn't obviously have to make them fully functional, but you still
Mhm.
wanted it to make it to look like, oh, if someone walked into this room, wow, this is what working with Ania White, this is the
Mhm.
kind of level of detail and things that I can expect. So
Mhm.
even though this is only something that's up temporarily for a show house for a couple of weeks, where people can buy tickets, purchase tickets, and the money from the tickets goes to the foundation. That's how a show house works. You purchase tickets, and then that the money goes to the charity. But then, it allows the designers to really put their work on display. And yeah, so it was just something really fun. But yeah, we still approach the window treatments the same way we would even if it was a regular project.
How tall were these panels, Kim?
These panels were 154 inches
Mhm,
long.
mhm. So not quite your two-story, which is over 200
Yeah.
inches, but definitely not your 9-foot ceiling either. So this was a
No.
tough installation, I'm sure, getting up into the penthouse with all the ladders and the tools and draperies. I'm sure these were heavy.
Yes.
This looked
And
like a piece of work.
yeah, it was the thing with show houses too, the timeline is always like we have like 2 seconds to make drapes, because they come around really quickly. You don't always often have a lot of time to go in and measure,
Mhm.
because it's one of those things that as soon as everyone hears the S word, which is show house, we all know that we have
The S word, she
seconds to
says.
to get it done. Yeah, it's the truth. Like I still remember the first show house that we did that I was involved in. I was like, wait, we're gonna measure this today, and we're supposed to have all this done up and ready in 2 weeks. Like
Mhm, mhm.
that's a thing. And
Yep.
Luann was like, yeah, it's a thing. Like it just happens. We get it done. And learning from that 14 years ago on the first show house that I did here at Window Works, now when I hear show house, I'm like, yeah, okay, no problem. It doesn't
Yep,
make me
been
quite
there, done that.
sweat as much. But yeah, but again, I still had a conversation with Ania and her team as to how high we put that up. I mean, and take a look at this custom bed. Can you
Mhm,
imagine? Like, how cool is this bed here where you have the platform loft area on the top
mhm.
and whatnot? So it is definitely something that is super unique. And I think that her team executed this design flawlessly.
It looks like a dollhouse.
Yes. Yeah, it does, doesn't it?
Or maybe it's all the pink around it.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's super fun.
All right. And if you are new to window treatments, whether you are a designer or a homeowner, I know today we are talking about charity projects that we have done, but you can get inspiration from these show house projects. Head on over to the Window Works website and download your free ebook that we have here. Luann wrote an ebook, Architectural Digest Isn't Coming, 10 Things You Need to Know About Custom Window Treatments. It's really like a window treatment 101 guide, if you will.
Nice. Everybody needs a little bit of window treatment 101, even me once in a while.
Yeah.
All right, this was a project that we did for Kate Lee Designs, and she participated in the Make-A-Wish Foundation project. So this was a teenage girl, I believe she was about 15 years old, and her wish was to have a room makeover. That's what she wanted to do. I suppose she could have wished for anything else, but instead she wanted to have a room where she feels beautiful and comfortable and at peace and content. And that's exactly what Kate was able to do for her. We, of course, took care of window treatment. So these were two side by side windows, and we did two pairs of stationary drapes. These were done with triple pleat, so a super cute little triple pleat, not quite your top tack, which is where it's pinched at the very, very top, but this was about an inch or so below, just for fun. We like to experiment a little bit with our pleats. And stationary drapes, we donated the labor, the hardware, the lining, the installation, and then Kate had the fabric donated by another vendor. So, just to Kim's point, this is something that is it gives us um, like a sense of satisfaction, a sense of contribution, something that we can do. This is what we do every day, 24/7. So if some of our talents and skills can be donate it to a good cause, then we are always happy to do it. So when Kate reached out to us and said, "Hey, I'm doing a Make-A-Wish Foundation project," I mean, without hesitation, without asking any questions, when, who, how, what, whatever, it was whatever you need. That was pretty much the answer. Now, of course, Kate and Vitalia, Kate Lee Design and Vitalia Inc., we work closely all the time on very many projects, including my office, actually. So it's whatever Kate needed, that's what we're happy and able to contribute. And I want you guys to follow Kate Lee Designs on Instagram. She does beautiful work. So definitely give her a shout.
Yes.
So, from Vitalia Inc., just a quick announcement. I want you to head on over to our website and grab your free gift. It is a curated lookbook filled with inspiration and education. We call it 37 and a half window treatment ideas for you to steal, swipe, and use immediately on your next design project. So if you're ever at a loss as to what to do, if you're not sure how to treat a certain window, you can virtually page through this lookbook and probably find something that you can use on your project.
Nicely done. Okay, so this is a project that we did for Tina Remshandani. We had the honor and the pleasure of being part of Grace's house, which was through the Valerie Fund. And this happened in 2019.
Mm-hmm.
So
It's right before the
just
pandemic.
yes, the year before the pandemic. And what was really cool and interesting about this was Luann was also on the board of the show house. So
Mm.
she was involved in that end because her niece actually was assisted through the Valerie Fund. She was a
Oh,
young, yeah, so that was, it was kind of when Luann was asked to do it and be a part of it, she said absolutely, because the
yeah.
Valerie Fund helped out her niece.
Mm-hmm.
Who was about 5 years old and diagnosed with lymphoma.
Mm.
She's in remission now, and all the things. But it was kind of Luann's way of saying, you know what, this is kind of personal to me. We've had a family member in our family who really leaned on the Valerie Fund to
Mm-hmm.
help us through a really hard time. So when the Valerie Fund was doing a show house in our backyard, it was here in Plainfield, New Jersey.
Mm-hmm.
It was just something that it was, yeah, she was on the board, and whatever designer needed help executing the window treatments, we donated that. We actually, in this particular show house, had 6 spaces that we did the
Wow,
window treatments for.
that's
Yes.
a lot.
Yes. So when I was saying, the when we hear the S word and things have to get done rather quickly,
Mhm.
yeah. So I don't really think I slept the whole month of March in 2019. Just trying to make sure that we would get all the rooms done and executed again, because the way we also approach this, we still approach it as if it's a regular design project.
Sure, sure.
It's not something that we're going to cut corners on or whatnot. And for this particular room, Tina, this was the men's lounge,
Mm.
and Tina decided it was a very cozy space, and what we did here was we donated the fabric and the labor, the lining,
Mhm.
for all the Roman shades. I believe, if my
Okay.
memory serves me correctly, there was probably about 6 Romans, and then we made
In
all
this
the
in this room alone.
in this room
Wow.
alone. And then we also donated all the pillows. We made all the lovely pillows in the space for all the pieces of furniture. There was another bathroom that was in this space, part of the men's lounge, that another designer did, that we did the Roman shades in there. So yeah, it was a lot of fun to be part of it, and I really got to know the contractors involved in the space, because as one room was completed, then I would go and I would measure and
Mhm.
do all the things. And so Tina picked this really pretty deep green, which actually, fun fact, I had just moved into my home a couple months prior to this, and I had picked a very similar green for my primary bedroom.
Big
And when
inspired by Tina or prior to
it
even
was
doing this
prior
project?
to it, and I kind of
Okay.
was like, am I going in the right direction with
Oh, okay,
this?
so
And
this was
then
validation.
yes, it was total validation when I walked in the room and I met Tina, and she had like the paint boards, and I was like, oh, I just did a very similar color to this in my bedroom. She was like,
I'm
yeah,
so
I'm
good.
just she's just like, I'm really feeling this color. And I'm like, okay, this is really cool. So it's, again, it's very unique. And that's the cool part about being part of these show houses, is that you can really see
Mhm.
all the different ways that interiors can be really creative, and how window treatments can really enhance that space.
Mhm.
So yeah, so this is one shot of the space, and then the next slide is, you can see here, again, you can see some of the pillows that we did there, more of the Roman shades that we have in that space. I really like how Tina enhanced the crown molding there with the
Mm,
golds, with the,
beautiful.
you know, the juxtaposition of the green. So it's definitely something that, yeah, we've done it a couple times. I actually had couple I there's a couple episodes back, a couple months back, that
Mhm.
we did the Ronald McDonald House for Tammy
Mhm.
Golden.
Mhm.
And I did a whole solo episode on the window
Oh,
treatments
nice.
there.
Okay.
So yeah, so this is something that, you know, it's not new for us here at Window Works. It's something that it's our way of giving back. And I
Mhm.
just love the way that this room turned out, and how just simple Roman shades can really just
Finish off
kind
the
of,
room.
exactly.
Nice.
Exactly.
Nicely done, my friend. Nicely done. S- So, I wanted to tell you guys about this podcast that you absolutely must listen to. So, it all started with Luann Nigara, who, of course, for the last 6 years running, has the A Well Designed Business podcast. As part of that, she and I did the Window Treatment Friday series, from which Kim and I got the idea of launching this very series, which is Window Treatment Friday Live, which is where when we show you pictures and tell you about our projects. But if one podcast wasn't enough, our favorite Miss Luann decided to launch another podcast called Window Treatment for Profit. And yours truly is honored and privileged to have a guest recurring or rather recurring guest host seat every Thursday. I come into your inbox for 10 minutes with a series called Vita's Tip in 10, where I give you a small but oh so mighty tip to improve your window treatment business. So, wherever you listen to your podcast, make sure to subscribe, download, and have me, Luann, and also Madeline McCrae. She is another host, or her own has her own series on this podcast, so that all together we can help you build a better window treatment business.
Nicely done.
All right. Now, this is a project that Vitalia Inc. did for a wonderful designer. Her name is Jennifer Carter from Studio Envy, and she participated in the Bucks County Home and Garden Design House, benefiting the Doylestown Hearts Foundation. So, just to Kim's earlier point, this is a this is where the foundation takes a house. Sometimes it's a kind of ready, go in and just decorate house. In this case, it was a very dilapidated house that needed a lot of construction work. So, unlike Kim's example, where she, poor thing, didn't sleep the entire month of March and had all of 5 minutes to get her stuff together, we actually had a little bit more time, thankfully, because a lot of construction and renovation needed to be done here. So, but and still, nonetheless, it's not like we had 8 weeks or 12 weeks. I mean, we're still talking about 3 to 4 weeks here. So, by a lot of time, I don't mean a lot of time. I just mean more than 5 minutes to do it. And here, Jennifer had us do uh, two pairs of beautiful velvet draperies on, actually I believe actually it was 6 pairs. I'm sorry, you're seeing four panels here, 2 pairs, but there was another window on a perpendicular wall that is not pictured quite here. So it was 6 panels altogether. French return hardware, I believe, black, thin. Kim, you would have loved it, which really correlated very well with the bed. Stationary drapes, non-functional, one width of material, and really, really gorgeous, gorgeous velvet fabric. And you can see that this whole room is fairly understated, very kind of neutral, and the drapes play a major role here. So when you come in, it's the first thing that you see. So we were really excited. This was our very first endeavor with Jennifer. She found us, I believe, on like Google or something, talk
Ah,
about the power of SEO and proper marketing. So, and since then, we've done many, many projects together, and she is just absolutely lovely. So, if you guys have an opportunity to be part of a design show house or a charity, any kind of charitable event, I highly, highly recommend that you do that. Not only does it give you, of course, the marketing visibility and opportunity to be in front of your potential clients, but more than anything, it gives you a chance to give back and to contribute in one of the few ways that you know how.
nicely done, Vita. And all right, so that concludes our episode. Just kind of like a little bit of a um, little taste of the charity work that we do here at WindowWorks and that Vita does over at Vitalia Inc. And if you would like us to recreate any of these looks or have a window treatment project that you need help on and you're located in the New Jersey and New York area, please give us a call here at WindowWorks or send us a DM on Instagram or Facebook.
Hmm. And if you are in the Philadelphia area, then we are your primary support company as it comes to window treatments. Vitalia Inc. is your one stop shop, your go to resource, your white glove concierge level service exclusively for interior designers ready to fly first class in the world of window treatments. We have your back, we've got you. You are in good hands with us. So DM, PM, and just contact us for your next project. So, Kim, another fun episode.
Yes. Alrighty, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us. And we hope to see you next week because if it's Friday,
It's Window Treatment Friday Live, or as we lovingly like to refer to it as WTF. No, no, not that kind of WTF, but anyone who has been in the window treatment industry long enough knows and has probably had their own WTF moment. So, hope that yours are minimized with all the information that we bring to you every Friday. So join us next week, please.
all right, have a great weekend, everyone. Bye.